Hello, this is Michael from the TEL team. This screencast is about creating lessons on Moodle, and the main focus and what you'll be able to do at the end of this video is create links between the pages in your lessons so that the students follow the linear structure which you set out for them in the lessons, so that once they finish one page, we know where they will be taken afterwards. So making sure that editing mode is switched on Moodle, click at the bottom, add an activity or resource. Select lesson. We now have this initial landing page for creating a lesson. All of these features you can play around with to set it up however you want to. And once you've got it how you want, click Save and Display. So this lesson titled Demo Lesson has been created, but there's nothing actually inside it. We have what would you like to do first? Import questions, add a cluster, add a content page, and add a question page. The first two, import questions and add a cluster, are a little bit too advanced for this screencast, so we're not going to touch on them. We're just looking at content page and question page. Most of the lessons that you'll have on Moodle will have some kind of information, whether that is text, a video, an audio recording, and this would be in the content page. This is delivering information. You'll also have some questions in your lesson, and these naturally will be in the question page. And the real point of this video is not about creating these, but how to make sure that they are connected, so that once a student sees a certain content, whether that is text or video, they are then taken to the page that you want them to be taken to afterwards when they click on a button. So effectively, how are the pages linked together, and how to make sure that your students are going in the right order through the pages in the lesson. So first, let's make some content. Let's click Add a Content Page. And in this box here, you would put in whatever it was, the text, the video, the image in here. Underneath, you'll see what is really the key part of this screencast. Content 1, Content 2, etc. all the way up to Content 5. Most of the time, you'll just have one of these. Content 1. This represents a button at the bottom of the page, which, when clicked, will take the student to a set location. The description is what is written in that button. Most of the time, you'll probably have next page, and this is what will be displayed on that button. What is really important, the main takeaway from the screencast, is the jump decides where that student is taken when they click that button. So at the moment, the jump says this page, and if you were to create a whole lesson with 15 different pages, content pages, question pages, images, videos, you make a great lesson. And if you left it like this, the students would never get past the first page. They'd open this lesson up, they would go through this content, they'd see a button which says next page. However, they would click it and they would be taken back to this they'd be taken back to this first page. They would be stuck in a loop because you have not set the lesson up so that they are taken to the next page once they click that button. So this is why it's so important. So we do not want this page. Most of the time, you're going to want next page. As you can see, there's a few other ones. You might want to have end of lesson. You will want to at some point in the lesson on the last page. You might want to have previous page. These are a little bit more advanced. Most of the time, you're going to have next page. We save that. And we now have our first content page. And in this kind of editing expanded view, we can see the jumps between the pages. Okay, these are the links. This is what the button says, and this is where it takes the student. So we've said that it will take us to the next page, but at the moment there's only one. So let's create the next page. And here we'll put a question page. This could be any of these. Let's make it true or false. And I'll just fill in the required fields. We need a statement. And underneath, correct responses. So let's say the correct answer, I'm not sure if it is, let's say it's true. And you'll see here, again, we have the correct answer jump. So let's say the student answers correctly, they say true, where are they taken? Here we automatically have it as the next page, which is probably what you want. When we have the wrong answer, which let's say is false, we are then taken back to this page, which again is automatically set and is most likely what you want. If the student answers false, you don't want them to be allowed onto the next page. You want them to be stuck in this loop until they get the question correct. So this makes sense. If you answer false, you go back to the start of this page, you answer false again, back to this page. When you finally answer true, you are kind of freed and you're allowed to go on to the next page. So let's save that. And we now have 2 pages in this overview. The content and the next question. So let's just make one more. If the student answers true, they have a jump to the next page. And let's make a content page after this. And this will be the last one, the final content. This is going to be the last one. I just want to show how we can end the lesson. So let's say end of lesson. You remember that this is what is written on the button at the end, at the bottom of the page, sorry. And the jump we want to finish. So we can just click end of lesson here. That means that when the student clicks on this, the lesson will finish. So we save the page. Okay, so we now have the initial demo content, the demo question here, and the final content. One thing of note is that this cog for each of the pages, if you click that, it means that you can edit that page. That's a useful thing to know. And also this will allow you to shift the lesson pages either up, so it could go here above demo content, or you could shift it down, so it would go underneath final content. So this arrow can allow you to shift the pages up or down in the linear order that they're presented in. Okay, so that's saved. Let's have a look at this lesson. So you have demo lesson here. We have demo content. No, we didn't put anything in it, but you'll see the button at the bottom of the page says next page. And where does it take us? To our true or false question. Let's just check false, submit. We are stuck in this loop. Remember, the false jump took us back to this page. So as long as we answer false, we cannot proceed to the next page. However, when we click true, the jump is set to next page. So when we click submit, we go to the next page. And the final content, we can click end of lesson. So this video has looked at the linking between pages, content pages and question pages in Moodle lessons. I hope that you have found it useful. If you have any related questions, don't hesitate to ask me or any other member of the TEL team. Thank you. Goodbye.